scriptures out of Luke 19 chapter 19, verse 1 through 10. He entered Jericho and was passing through. A man was there named Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector and was rich. He was trying to see who Jesus was, but on account of the crowd he could not, because he was short in stature. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore tree to see him, because he was going to pass.
Oops.
When Jesus came to the place, he looked up and said to him, Zacchaeus, hurry, come down, for I must stay at your house today. So he hurried down and was happy to welcome him. All who saw it began to grumble and said, he has gone to be the guest of one who is a sinner. Zacchaeus stood there and said to the Lord, look, half of my possessions, Lord, I will give to the poor. And if I have defrauded anyone of anything, I will pay back 4 times as much. Then Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to this house, because he too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek out and to save. The story of Zacchaeus. He wanted to see Jesus. But there was a big crowd there, and he couldn't see over because he wasn't very tall. So he ran ahead, climbed a tree so he could see Jesus. Just to see him. Not to talk to him, but just to see this Jesus he heard about. Well, when Jesus got to that place, the amazing thing about Jesus, he already knew Zacchaeus. He knew who he was. He knew he was in the tree. And when he got to the tree, Jesus said, come down, Zacchaeus. I'm going to come to your house today. What an extraordinary thing. Zacchaeus had never talked to Jesus. He didn't know anything, really know too much about Jesus. But Jesus knew Zacchaeus. Knew who Zacchaeus was. Knew Zacchaeus wasn't exactly a perfect person. But he called on Zacchaeus to go and visit him. And because he did, Zacchaeus said, I'll give half of everything I need to the poor. And said, if I cheated anybody, right, when it said defrauded, so it means, said if I cheated anybody, I will give them back more than what I took. And he went. Jesus went with Zacchaeus. The crowd complained. They didn't like tax collectors. I mean, in today's world, it's kind of like the IRS. You know, we're not real fond of the IRS either. But the Jews didn't like tax collectors because they taxed the Jews to give money to the Roman Empire. And the Jews did not like the Roman Empire because they had been conquered by them. And here they are, they're having to take their hard-earned money and give it to another country, another empire, people had conquered. So they didn't like it. And tax collectors, how tax collectors made their money, tax collectors are told, okay, you need to collect this much. This much money is how much you need to give to us. So a tax collector would just add on his own tax. So the more he added on, the richer a tax collector would get. That's the reason a lot of them didn't like tax collectors, especially rich ones, especially very rich ones, because they had added on so much extra that they become rich. And they grumbled and complained. I thought, why is Jesus going with this guy ripping us off? This guy that's not a perfect person. Jesus shares with them, you know, I didn't come into the world to save perfect people. I came into the world to save imperfect people. People that struggle, people that make mistakes. People that aren't perfect. And none of us are. None of us are. If you ever walk in to meet somebody that they've never made a mistake, that they're a perfect Christian, stay clear of them. Because they're not. None of us are. But that's the reason this story is so important. It reminds us that even though we all make mistakes, Jesus is there for us. He's always there for us. Anytime we need Him, anytime we're feeling down, anytime we're feeling discouraged, anytime we feel like the world's collapsing on us and nothing's going right, Jesus is there for us. Every time and every moment. And the power of God's love through Jesus is with us. He will lift us up, just as He did Zacchaeus. He lifted Zacchaeus up, went home with him, and blessed him, and showed him the way of salvation. And He will do the very same for each and every one of us. When we're feeling down, when we're struggling, when we've made a mistake, when we've done something we knew we weren't supposed to, Jesus is there for us. Jesus didn't come into the world for perfect people, because you won't find it. To me, one of the truest signs of a good Christian is ones that know they're not perfect. Know that they're not perfect Christians. Know that they're not any better than anybody else, because they are imperfect themselves. A Christian that understands that, to me, is a true Christian. Those that think they're above everybody else or above other people, they're not really a true Christian. Christians are people that know they need Jesus. Just as Zacchaeus needed Jesus, we all need Jesus. And Jesus is always there for us when we need Him. In the good times, in the hard times, in the times of struggle, good and bad, Jesus is always there. He's always going to invite us out of that tree, out of that struggle, and be with us, and go home with us, and bring joy and happiness in our lives. And when we're struggling, when we're going through a hard time, He will be with us through that. Help us get through those bad times and hard times. And we all have those. We all have those hard times. He will be with us, and He will see us through. So the story of Zacchaeus is a reminder for all of us that Jesus is always there for us. Always there for us. In the good and the bad times. That's just how much God loves us. That He sent His Son into this world to be with us, to encourage us, to love us, and someone to help us.
I worship you. miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are.